Hi guys, my name's Selena. I'm gonna be doing a quick video about Git and GitHub, and these videos are aimed to help you prepare for data hacks. So hopefully, if you don't know, if you haven't learned about Git, hopefully this will help. What is Git? It's a version control system that helps track changes to your code, and this is used locally. And GitHub is a platform where you can share and collaborate on Git projects online. And these are really helpful for basically any project that you do involving coding. More specifically, Git is a tool you install on your computer, helping you track the history of changes you've made to your code. And it helps with collaborating with other people without worrying about overwriting each other's code. And also, it allows you to revert back to previous versions of your code. So if you want to look back at things that you've done before, um, or like if you made a mistake and you want to go back, it's really helpful for that. GitHub is a cloud-based platform where you can store Git repositories, which are basically like folders that contain files of a project, and they can be public or private. And this is similar to Google Drive, but for coding projects, basically. And it makes it easy to collaborate by letting your team work on the same code base. So if you haven't installed Git, I would recommend doing that now. You can go to this website over here. You can honestly just type in Git installation and it'll probably take you there. Um, or you can try this. If you're on Mac OS, you can just type this Git version. And if you don't have it installed, it'll probably say, like, do you want to install it? And just do it. If you're on Windows, you can go to this website too. And it should just start the installation. And then after installation, you just want to give them your name and email. And this will just help like with tracking like who's making changes and stuff when you put in your edits and stuff. So a couple key concepts for Git are repositories. These are basically the root directories for your project, which is basically just like a big folder that holds like all your stuff, like your code, data, and history of changes. And then branches, they let you can create branches of a repository. So this lets you work on new features without affecting the main code. And this is pretty helpful for like experimentation and stuff because you can work on different versions of the same code simultaneously without affecting like your actual code. So it's like you can keep it if you want or you don't have to. And if it ends up being good, you can merge it. So basically you can merge your branch from like the current one into the main one so it becomes part of the project. And then commits, this is basically how Git tracks like changes. They're like snapshots of your project at specific points in time. And yeah, when you make changes and like do a commit, you would want to include a message that like describes what changes you made and stuff. And so if you haven't made a GitHub account, I would recommend doing that. And I would recommend using your school email so that you can sign up for a student developer pack, which just gives you access to stuff. Because otherwise, like if you want more features, you have to pay like $48 per month, I think. So basically, GitHub introduces the concept of a remote, which is basically like a link to a repository that's hosted on a server. So when you have a repository that you find on GitHub, you can clone it so that this automatically sets a remote connection called origin. So basically, you can work on this repository locally on your own device without affecting the actual repository. And then if you wanted to like push your changes back to the original repository, you can use git push. So basically this just sends local changes or commits the remote to the remote repository so that other people can see and access your updates. And this is basically like uploading your progress to the shared project and ensures that the changes you made are reflected in the shared repository. And then polling is kind of like the opposite. So if someone else makes changes, you can you can fetch the latest changes from a remote repository and merge it into your local copy. And then this is like downloading updates from the shared projects. It just keeps you up to date and stuff. Okay, so now we're gonna do a quick demo. Um, 1 second. Okay, so we're gonna start by going to GitHub, and we're gonna start by creating a new repository. So you can find this green button over here and click it, and then this should help you make a new repository. And um, you can name it whatever you want. Um, I'm just gonna do yeah, probably give it a better name, probably, but that's what's gonna be for now. You can add a description if you want, you don't have to, but I would recommend adding a README file so you can have like a description of your project, and then we'll just create the repository. And then now we can clone it to your own device. So you can go to code here, click the little arrow, and then copy the URL for it. Okay, so basically we're going to open our terminal, and then you can do git clone, and then paste in the URL, and now it's cloning the repository, and you can see that in my desktop, it's right here. And so basically, we're gonna go into this file, and then you can like check the status. Right now it's up to date, there's nothing in it. Let's add a couple files. So I'm gonna add just a couple things. And then now you can check your status again. And you can see that over here in red, there's like the files that we just added, right? But we haven't done anything yet. If you want to commit these changes, first you have to add it to the staging area. So basically you can add, let's just do one file first. You can check the status. Now that one file that we just added is in green because it's in the staging area and ready to be committed, right? But also you can also like if you want to add just everything that you've changed, you get add and then a period and then check your status. Now it added the rest of the files, right? And then once you're ready to commit a change, you do git commit -m and then make a message. I'll say add new files. And now these 3 files have been committed. So, and then you can check status again, up to date. So basically, um, a couple things that are probably pretty important to do when, for example, like, first of all, let's start with like earlier I've mentioned, we can like go back to previous changes and stuff. Let's say that, let's start by opening this folder in VS Code. So I open VS Code and then go to File, Open Folder. And I'm gonna just go to Desktop, find this folder, and then open it. And you can see it has all of the files on the left-hand side. Just go to a file. If I want to edit it, I'm gonna just say print hello world, and I'm gonna save that. So now you can see over here, let's just say head hello.py. You can say that we made that change, print hello world. And then I'm just gonna add these changes. And we can see now that this is updated to the main branch. So if we go to help git log, it shows you like all the commits that you've done previously. We did initial, add new files, and edit hello.py. And the way you go back to them, you want to do git checkout and then do the checkout branch. So the checkout branch names are when it says commit and this whole long string of like letters and numbers. So if you go to git checkout and then paste in the branch name, you can go back to this and it says head is now at this add new files, which is the commit name, right? And then so now if you like want to look at that file that we just edited, um, but we went back to the commit where before we added any text to hello.py. You can see that now it's empty. If you want to check here, it's empty too because we're back at the previous commit before we made those changes. And then, of course, you can go back to this. You can see right now, if we do git branch, we're not at the main branch anymore. We're at this one where it says head detached at, which is the message that we had earlier after we um, did the checkout. So if we wanted to switch back to main, oh, we also didn't commit any changes, but if we switch back to main, um, you can see now hello world is back. And then, yeah, so you can go back and forth between like your previous edits and stuff. And then another thing you can do is you can create new branches. So right now, you can see the only branch we're on is main, but you can create a new one. You can call it whatever you want. I'm just going to do a new branch. And you can see now there's a new branch, but we're not on it. So we're just going to do git checkout, new branch. And now we've switched to our new branch. And so basically branches can just help you like make changes and work on code. Um, because this branch took like everything from the main branch and now it's like a separate timeline basically. And you can make changes and do experiments and stuff without affecting the actual main branch. So let's just say we want to go into hello.py. Right now you can see it's hello world like we just had. And if I just edit it right now, it's just change the print statement, and then I'm gonna exit, save the changes and stuff. And you can see now we have changed the contents of hello.py. And it's important that every time you make changes in these branches that you save your changes, because otherwise it like the changes won't like be saved and then they'll just carry on to the main branch after you switch to the main branch. So I'm gonna say edit. Okay, now we can switch back to the main branch. And you can see when we're in the main branch and we go to hello.py, it still says hello world because our changes in the new branch did not affect our main branch. And so now if you after you like make changes to a new branch and you wanted to like you think it's good and you want to put it to your main branch, you go to git merge and then you specify the branch that you want to merge. You can see it just modified hello.py when file was changed. And now if you go to hello head of hello.py, you can see that this is the edits from the new branch are now in the main branch. But yeah. Oh, and last thing is so everything we've done right now has been local and has been just like hasn't affected this repository that we have in GitHub, right? So if you want to put everything from all your changes that are local to the actual repository, you can do git push and then origin main. And now it's like pushed everything to your GitHub. And now you can see all our files are here and all of the changes that we made are here as well. But yeah, that's all I have for today. hopefully this can help. But yeah, good luck with everything, and I'll see you guys next time.